questions? Nathan, we'll start with you. Nathan, second row. It's Nathan, Cleveland.com, right in the center.
Hey Nick, through preseason camp or last season, have you gotten any sense of what CJ's like in the huddle, what his personality is, and what he sort of brings to that dynamic?
He's a great leader. He's always works hard every single day he comes out here. We're just very excited for us to have him as our quarterback right now, and he's taking that job in full stride, just working every day, working hard, communicating with the offensive line, communicating with running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Just overall, has been a really good leader for our team.
Can you think of any examples through camp where you saw him have to perform in a tough spot or under pressure, and that gave you more confidence in what he was able to do?
Fall camp's hard for multiple reasons. We have a lot of different scenarios that could happen day in and day out. We've had a few days where we had complete rainouts, where we had to practice through the rain, or days where it was felt like it was 105 or 103 at times. And there's certain guys that just rise to the cream of the crop and come through in those big moments and kind of inspire the team to keep pushing forward even in hard moments. And CJ did that almost every single time. So those are kind of the moments that we kind of see from him that kind of showed that type of leadership and his personality of persevering through any type of resilience or anything that happens.
We'll go right next door to Bill Rabinowitz, the Columbus Dispatch.
Hi there. You've been moving around or have moved around from side to side. Do you know where you're going to play on Thursday? And how important is it for you to get settled in at a spot?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing on left tackle this Thursday, but anything can happen. We're always prepared as offensive linemen to play any position possible on the field. That's why we don't just learn one position. We just learn tackle, we just learn guard, we just learn center. Like every single offensive lineman can tell you every single position, every single responsibility of each player, each combination of each player, and everything like that. So there's never an offensive lineman that wouldn't know how to play any sort of position, and we're all prepared for us to play any position we would need to. But I feel pretty confident where I'm at right now. We've worked at it during camp. I've had a lot of help from Coach Stud and everyone around me, just getting comfortable with the position. I feel pretty good about it.
You playing there means that DeJuan's going to play right tackle. What have you seen from him? You guys talked about him a couple weeks ago, but what have you seen from him, and how confident are you that he's going to be up to the job?
I feel pretty confident. DeJuan's been having a great camp. Had a great spring ball as well. Really grew into the position and playing offensive line. He's been a really big juice guy for us when it comes to the offensive line and actually the team in general, of always coming in every single day with a lot of energy, a lot of juice, and a big passion for the game. And that's something that a lot of players have revolved around and kind of latched on to, especially myself as well. So we love having DeJuan and how much he's practiced, and he's done a really good job.
We'll go to the end of the front row here on the right. Austin Ward, Letterman Row.
It seems unlikely that Thayer really needed many reps this month. So was there any benefit to the fact that you guys maybe work other guys in at guard or experiment with some of those other looks during camp?
We work everyone during camp. I mean, we work everyone during camp. We work everyone during practice. Like last year, we had a bunch of guys that were out with COVID, and I remember it was the Michigan State game, and a lot of people were worried about the offensive line, thinking that a lot of the normal starters weren't going to be in the lineup, and maybe there would be a drop off. But as you can see, that there was no drop off. We all showed that we were all capable of playing, no matter who was the ones or the twos or whatever. It's all a matter of knowing our assignments, knowing our responsibilities. So I think last year we proved that no matter if you were a starter the year before or a starter now or whatever the case may be, we all prepare ourselves every single day to play, and we all prepare as if we are the starter. And if anything were ever to happen to any one of us, we're ready to go. So in terms of needing more reps or needing less reps, everyone needs reps to get better and compete. But we always make sure that everyone has the ample amount of reps for us to be good and prepared for any type of game situation.
Yeah, I think maybe we used to just think that it would be important to pick 5 guys and build that chemistry, but it doesn't sound like you guys are that concerned about that part. Pick 5 and just roll. So
Yeah.
you're comfortable doing it this way.
Yeah, I mean, we're just comfortable picking the best 5. That's always been the mission for every single time we come out of a season. We need to find the best offensive lineman that we want to roll with, but that doesn't mean that we just have 5 offensive linemen and that's it. It means that we need to have a whole entire unit of offensive linemen that are ready to go out and roll. That's something that Coach Stud has always been proficient about, making sure that we have an entire unit that's ready to roll and play when their number is called, no matter who it was or what their position was or where they felt like they were at in terms of any type of depth chart. All that matters is that you're ready to play when your number is called.
All the way over to the right, Tony Jordan, Buckeye Scoop.
Nick, when did you stop feeling like a right tackle and start feeling like a left tackle?
The day they switched me. Just had to learn a different position, had to get adjusted to something new. Whatever I can do to help this team win is my main mission, no matter what position it was, whether it was tackle, guard, whatever. I just want to play, and I want to help this team win the best way I can. So that's my main mission. That's been my main mission since I got here when I was a freshman, and that's still my main mission now.
How long did that take to be comfortable?
A little while, you know, there's a small adjustment period trying to get comfortable with switching the stance and things like that. I felt like I know the plays pretty well. It was just kind of getting more comfortable and used to just different timings and things like that from left to right, but it took about like maybe a week or so, and just through reps, there's nothing you cannot accomplish without more reps. That's what I've learned throughout camp. Camp's been a really big moment for me in terms of just perseverance and resiliency. That's a lot of kids on our team will tell you that this camp is really about resiliency and fighting through adversity. And no matter what that adversity may be for any person, whatever they had, it's just about fighting through it. So for me, that was just trying to switch to a different position. But you may have your pitfalls and you may have low days, but you also have high days, and then there's days that you just need to improve on and keep building each and every day. So what I would say to that is just the amount of reps I got, I just kept asking for more reps, and as I got more reps, I got more comfortable. So that was kind of the main point of just getting comfortable and adjusted to the position.
We'll stay on the right over here, Whitney Hardy from DC4.
Hey Nick, what was your reaction when Thayer got that Blocko honor, and how well deserved is that for him?
Is probably one of the most deserving things I could imagine for him. I mean, Thayer's been a leader of this team even before I got here, and as I've been here, he's been a leader through and throughout. Not only in the offensive line, but also as a team as a whole. We see him as a staple of Ohio State football right now. And I know all the coaches and everyone around here would tell you the same, that Thayer is probably one of the most hardworking, most dedicated people when it comes to playing the game of football in Ohio State itself. And him representing us as the Blocko is probably an amazing accomplishment, not only for him, but it's great for us as a team because that's who we have as a representative for us. And me knowing that Thayer is a representative for us in terms of being a Blocko guy, I couldn't be happier and I couldn't be more proud.
We talked about the versatility on your line so much, but what about the versatility in that running back room that you guys are blocking for? It seems like there's so many guys that can jump into that spot. They're all very different.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we've recruited so well over the past few years, and we have so many great running backs. And not only are they great running backs on the field, but they're also great players and great teammates off the field as well. That's something I think also needs to be talked about a lot, is that their work ethic off the field when it comes to watching film or just being good teammates around the locker room, around the facility when they're at home. That's something that I think should be talked about a lot more about our running backs as well. But obviously the talent's there, and I think a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of reporters have seen it. So it's just very exciting to have a room like that right next to us, actually, in the facility. So it's always nice just knowing that we have those people behind us running the ball as hard as they can, doing everything right.
Third row to the left, Dan Hope from 11 Warriors.
You talked a lot about reps. How have you seen the chemistry of this offensive line grow over the course of preseason camp as you've settled into your new roles?
It's been huge, especially after the Michigan State game last year when a lot of us got sick, and then we showed that it's not just 5 of us, it's an entire unit. I think that's something that we latched onto from that moment on into now, into fall camp. It's just been a lot of us working together. Instead of us working in units or working in 1s and 2s, it's been us working together as an entire offensive line unit and all of us being together as one. So something I would say as a testament to that is just how every single day we come in, we all try to help each other, whether it's a younger guy or an older guy. We all try to inspire and encourage each other day in and day out.
I know Minnesota has a lot of returning starters on defense. Just when you're studying them, kind of what are the challenges that you see that you guys are gonna face on Thursday?
They're a talented group, you know, especially with them returning a lot of starters, especially on defense. What I would say the challenges are is that they're a talented group. They have a bunch of guys that know the system that they run, they know the defense that they run, and they are hard-working players, and they usually do their assignments day in and day out. So we've been preparing for them like we prepare for any other opponent. We're going to treat them as if it's one of the biggest games of the year, because every week is the biggest game of the year for us, you know, because we always have a target on our backs, and we're always going to strive and compete for competitive excellence every single day in practice and in games. So whether it be any team that we face, we're going to treat them like any other opponent, and they're a great opponent. They're very tough, they're very resilient, and it's just exciting for us to finally get back and play in front of fans again, and to have a moment like the spotlight of having a Thursday night game for one of the first games for college football is like an amazing experience, and it's very humbling.
Go to the front row, right, Tim May, Letterman row.
Yeah, Nick, with Dewan at right tackle, you at left tackle, what feels right about this offensive lineup? A lot of people still think it could be experimental, but y'all been running it all preseason and stuff. What feels right about it?
I think that we all just work hard, and I think that we all believe in each other, and we all communicate with each other really, really well. I feel like that's what's right about it. That's something that we learned, again, from the Michigan State game, that as long as we communicate and we all have each other's back, no matter what happens throughout any play or any series or whatever it was, maybe fall camp, spring ball, whatever happens, as long as we're all together and we're all working hard and we all believe in one another, we can accomplish anything. That's what feels right about this, is that we all kind of have a resilience about ourselves and striving to be great. And whether or not we have pitfalls or ups and downs, we'll always make sure we have each other's backs, and we'll come back the next play, or we'll come back the next series, and we'll come back and fix it.
Yeah, and you talked a while ago, they've got quite a few people back on their defensive side. They also imported, I think, 3 or 4 guys from the transfer portal who were gonna play significantly, it looks like, up front and stuff. How much time did you spend, or did y'all spend, trying to get a feel for what those guys are about that you can't see on their video?
We spent a lot of time, Coach Stud and Kenny Cook, our GA coach, just spent a lot of time researching who we're going up against. Once we found out the schedule, the first thing that they did was research every single opponent we have and try to give us encompassing scouting reports. So that's something that we've been studying for a while, and we know that they had some transfers that came in and things like that. But overall, I mean, everyone they brought in was great players. The people they have returning are great players. So we spent a lot of time in the film room studying them, learning about them, and researching them and everything like that. So it's been a lot of film work, a lot of film study.
Right next door, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Nick, if you end up at left tackle, it seems to put there at left guard. We haven't obviously seen him as much there. What's he like as a guard?
He kind of plays the same almost like he did at tackle, and he was one of the best tackles in the nation. I feel like he's one of the best guards in the nation as well, which goes to a testament saying that he's probably one of the best offensive linemen in the nation. I mean, Thayer is just an amazing competitor when it comes to not his work ethic on and off the field, when it comes to film study and just being a teammate, but then also his aggression on the field, how great he is in terms of technique wise and knowing his plays and understanding different defenses and schemes like that. That's just encompassing of him as an offensive lineman. So him switching to left guard, I feel like you're going to see that with him. Although he was playing left tackle for about 4 years now him switching to left guard, I feel like you're still going to see that's great stride. You'll see great strides from him in terms of him trying to play a new position and things like that. But overall, he's still the same Thayer Mumford you guys always know. He's a great player, great athlete, great overall football player.
And you mentioned looking forward to playing in front of fans. How big a difference will it go from playing in front of like 100 people last year to 50,000? Like, will it change like responsibilities for you guys at all? Will it have like a tangible impact?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, we have to play. The way that we practice is the way that we're going to play. We always say we revert back to our training. So the way that we train every single day and practice day in and day out, once we get into a game atmosphere, it may be a little bit louder, it may be a little bit more raucous, which is fun. It's a great atmosphere. College football is probably one of the greatest atmospheres in all the sports, in my opinion, and it's very humbling for me to get a chance to be a part of it. But in terms of us playing through it, as long as we do what we did when we practice and we revert back to our training, I think we'll be fine.
We got time for 2 more questions. We'll go with Jeremy Birmingham, Letterman row.
Nick, you said that every camp is a challenge, but it seemed just, reading between the lines, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but for some reason it seemed like you think this one was more full of adversity or maybe a little bit tougher. Is there a reason that this particular camp felt more taxing?
There's a multitude of reasons. I would say one, we never really had a real camp last year because of COVID. There was a stop and then a start and then a stop and then a start. So it never really felt like we got on the roll in terms of having a fall camp. We didn't have spring ball the year before, so that's another thing. Those are 2 very important times in terms of growth and development for players overall. Whether you're an older guy or a younger guy, those are big moments and big strides that people could take when they have those gaps of time of just training and playing football. So I think that was probably one of the reasons why it was challenging. And just going into a new atmosphere with new people is always challenging, going to any fall camp. So I would say that probably the COVID probably was an attribute that probably made the camp more challenging. But you know, we all just competed hard. And I would say that we competed so hard during camp, just against each other. And I feel like the defense got the offense better, and the offense got the defense better, and it's been a really good camp in terms of us competing against one another with good on good and everything like that.
And then we'll wrap it up with Dr. Barry.
Nick, coach tells us the majority of the clubs are vaccinated for COVID. You know, what a difference a year makes. Last year, you guys were like in a bubble, none of us were here. With that said, COVID is still out there. Have you guys altered, or as you go through this season, are you taking caution still? I mean, is that still in the back of your head?
Of course. I mean, like, at the end of the day, our main goal is for us to win a national championship. And we already talked about this when it was spring ball and fall camp, that we're going to have to make sacrifices. You know, we talked about that last year with COVID, saying we're going to have to make sacrifices in terms of us being around certain people and making sure that, like, we hang around the right people. And if we do hang around the right people, what's our distance? How do we socially distance ourselves around them? And although we've had these advances with vaccinations and stuff like that, it's still out there, and there's still a chance that people can have COVID. So we're always gonna make sure we stay safe by wearing masks in and around the facility. If we are or not vaccinated, whatever the protocols of how the state gives us for us to make sure that we stay safe, we're gonna follow those as well. And we're just gonna make sure that we focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's trying to win as many games as we can and trying to win the national championship.
So, I know you guys made it a point last year of just staying around, around each other pretty much. Is that what's going on again this year, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, we're around our brothers. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel like we had probably one of the most tightest teams we had because we stayed around one another. I mean, all we had was each other during that COVID time, you know? We weren't allowed to be around a lot of people. There's a lot of Zoom meetings and things like that, but the people that we could trust were the people that we knew were coming into the facility day in and day out because we took precautions to make sure that we were always safe and we could talk to them on a one-on-one basis. So why not do it again? And then if it worked last year for us to get to where we were, why not do it again, and why not continue that?
Alrighty, thank you, Nick, appreciate it.
Thank you.